What up guys, welcome to day 19 of the 30-day jumpstart program, and today we'll be going over my favorite lunch. And this is my favorite lunch because I have a big appetite, and that means I like to eat a lot of food. But the problem with that is the calories are high, so you'll go over the diet if you like to eat a lot like me. But what I love about this specific recipe is that it's full of veggies, so you'll be very filled, and it's high in protein, so you'll hit your proteins all while staying under a low calorie amount because it is mainly just veggies, and it's super flavorful and super hearty because it's a stew, and I freaking love stews, and you can make a lot at once so that you can save time. All right, since this is a stew, the first thing I'm getting ready is the boiling water. So I got the water here, and I'll wait for this to get to a boil before I put the miso base in there because this is a miso based stew. Meanwhile, over here, you'll see that I've already prepped my veggies. I got bok choy, carrots, and zucchini. And I was looking for enoki mushrooms. They didn't have it, so I'm using shiitake mushrooms. And over here, I got sliced chicken thigh, and I already cut off most of the visible fat. So what I have on here is black pepper, garlic powder, gotta add some salt, and also some sesame chili oil. When it comes to using sauces like this, I'm very careful because of the fat content. So I measured this specifically for 1 tablespoon. And in 1 tablespoon, it has 14 grams of fat. So since this is enough food to be 2 servings, per serving will be 7 grams of fat. So if you're trying to stay under calories, it's very important when you're using sauces that have calories to keep track of the fat content. Also, I got some garlic that I smashed with a knife because then later when you throw it into the stew, it lets the flavor come out better. Well, so now that I have the pot on a boil, I'm gonna put in the miso. And generally the miso, you wanna go with 1 tablespoon per cup. I put 4 cups of water in here, so I will need 4 tablespoons. So now that we have the miso boiling in this pot, I'm cooking with a non-fat cooking spray for the chicken. To keep the calories low. Time to put the chicken on the pan. Okay, so based off of this brand, I could already tell that this miso is very, very light. So I'm gonna have to add a little bit more. Now it's time to throw in some of the veggies. And I like to start with the ones that are harder to cook. So because the zucchini and the carrots are a little bit harder to cook, I learned this from a world famous chef, to throw them in the microwave first. Because if you don't pre-cook it a little bit, sometimes when you add it to the soup base, by the time everything else is done cooking, it still might be kind of hard. So by throwing it in the microwave, it kind of pre-cooks it a little bit so that everything finishes cooking at the same time. Dun, da, da, da. Also throw in a handful of shiitake mushrooms. Mix it up a little bit, and once everything gets a little bit softer, then I'll throw in the bok choy because the bok choy cooks fast. For some extra flavor, I'm gonna add in some kimchi, and it'll give it a nice color too. And this is what you want. Once the chicken starts to get some color, then it's ready to go in the pot. But first, gotta taste it to see if it's good. Use a little bit more salt. Time to put the chicken into the broth. Since this pot's kind of small, I'll just put in half. And now that I put in the chicken, I'll put in the bok choy, because these bad boys cook fast. So that might seem like a lot, but after cooking it, it will wilt down and it'll take up less surface area. Time for the ultimate taste test to see if there's anything else that's needed before serving. Cool. So now, remember the rice that I already made? This is how I like to serve it. All right, so you get about a cup of rice and time to get the goodies. So I try to get it without the broth first, like the veggies and the meat. Try to get a good amount of the meat. And then you can get the broth, about a ladle's worth of broth, put it on there. And if you love protein like me, you're trying to build muscle, so you should love protein, get a little extra bit of chicken. And since it's cooked already, you can just throw it on there. That. So hot. So you should probably wait a little bit. Wait a little bit, let it cool down. But it's really good. And this is one of my favorite recipes when I'm on a diet during lunchtime. Packed with veggies so that you feel full, high protein content, low fat. Give this a try.